We are in the eye of the storm at the moment. We really, really are. So look after yourself, ground yourself. We really need to be doing this, to be grounded, to bring in the dreams. It's really important more than ever. I truly believe that. And because we're in the eye of the storm, everything's going on. Simplify things, get in nature, be with the trees as much as possible, to really, 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 really ground what it is that you're trying to bring in for this next chapter, for this next stage of your life. When so much is going on and there's so much confusion, this ungrounds us, right? When you're trying to work things out and you're trying to get to the bottom of things, it can be too much. And this is what's playing out at the moment. When you look out and you see everything that's going on, it's going to stir things up in you that probably don't need to be stirred up, because it's all happening anyway. So this is why being in nature and switching off as much as possible is probably the best thing we can be doing right now. It's important to be able to ground this stuff, right? To try and ground your dreams and just ground anything right now with everything going on can feel like an impossible task. Yet we all know that when you get in nature, you simplify things, you just breathe and watch the stillness, watch the beauty that's going on around. These things become easier, right? Your nervous system calms down. And that's what we need to be remembering right now, is that in times of confusion and chaos, that's more and more important for our bodies, because we're not getting it elsewhere if we're not putting ourselves in those spaces, right? And then this can help you bring in the dreams. This can help you catapult yourself into this next chapter in the best vibration possible, you know? Remember to return to stillness as much as possible. Truly, truly, truly. Dream big and ground those dreams by returning to stillness, being in nature and keeping things simple without trying to work everything out too much. When we see everything that's going on in the big wide world or chaos going on around us, we try and figure it out. We get spun out by things too often. And it seems to be the times we're living in right now, we actually don't need to be going there. You know, you don't need to try and figure it out. Know that it's all unraveling, know that it's all divine. And the part that you're playing is just to keep your vibration as high as possible and do the things that you know keep that vibration high. I mentioned in my last video that it can feel like burying your head in the sand by not reacting to certain things and figuring out certain things, but truly it's probably the opposite, right? It's the best thing that we can be doing to enter this next chapter for humanity and for ourselves. It's probably the best thing we can be doing, rather than burying our head in the sand. You're not ignoring anything, right? You're keeping yourself at a certain frequency, or returning yourself to a certain frequency that's more vital than ever. And it's really exciting times, you know. Being in the eye of the storm, it can feel chaos. So as long as we're giving ourselves what we need and fueling ourselves in positive ways, doing all the things that lift us up and keep us vibrating at the best we can, it is truly, truly important, and what I'm encouraging myself to do and everyone else right now. Keep things simple, you know. Return to nature, dream big, know that all the dreams are worth pursuing and possible, right? Even again in a world where sometimes it feels like maybe it's not worth pursuing or not worth diving into. Stay out of fear, stay in abundance, and keep dreaming big. The reason I'm saying be in nature is it's a balancing act, right? It's the duality of what's going on. Find the balance within, because the outside seems to be so unbalanced, right? These times that we're in seems to be out of whack. So find balance within. And we know that by keeping things simple and returning to nature and all these things, doing the simple things in life that we know our body love and need, is a way to achieve that, right? Meditate, sit in stillness, drop into that stillness as much as possible throughout your day. Give yourself those moments, because they're important, and you'll notice a difference. You really, really will. And know that you're safe to dream big. Know that you're safe just being you, and by giving yourself what you need, you'll be in that vibration. Your nervous system will calming down, right? And balance out that chaos that we see day to day so often, right? We're entering this new chapter, yet we're still purging. That's the truth of it. Humanity's still purging. So if you need to sleep more, sleep more. You know, lots of people are finding themselves having sleepless nights at the moment, and then also sleeping all the way through the night. It makes total sense, because we're still, even without realizing it, right, we're purging things, we're processing things. Our bodies are doing a lot that sometimes we're not aware of. And it's because it's all happening on a deeper level, maybe a higher level or a deeper level within. So we need to allow that, you know. Allow it when you need to sleep more. If you can, sleep more. Give yourself that without the guilt. And also, if you're laying wide awake at night, know that you're probably meant to be up. You can normally tell, right, when it's one of those nights when it's kind of different to normal. Listen to yourself. Listen to what's going on, how you're feeling, and tune into that, and have that internal chat with yourself. I suppose the message I'm saying here is just to balance out the chaos that's going on, knowing that we're in the eye of the storm, knowing that there's a lot going on, but also knowing that we're in really exciting times and positive times as well. It could just be that sometimes we're shown things that seem like they're not so positive and a little bit scary. So stay at that fear and balance out all that chaos by finding balance within and stillness within and calmness within, and by dreaming big and being very, very clear on what you want this next chapter to be for you, in this new opportunity that we're all facing right now. And I'm not just saying that because it's the end of the year and we're entering a new year and resolutions and all that. It's deeper than that right now. The times that we're in is a real opportunity to be clear on what it is and what way you're going to go, of being a high vibration and really truly protecting your essence and your vibration, so that going forward you're coming from that place of love, right, rather than fear. So be balancing out the chaos, be balancing out the fear, and that's one thing that we can all be doing ourselves, and that's going to make a massive difference on the collective and for everyone else too, right? So don't try and figure too much stuff out. It's a big one. We can get caught in these rabbit holes and trying to solve things or find ourselves in a weird way being entertained by the drama and the chaos and the stories and all that there is to digest right now. But don't try and figure out too much. Not much needs to be figured out. Let it all unravel, and give yourself what you need, right? Give yourself what you know that your body needs, what your soul needs, to be in that positive place as much as possible. Balance out the chaos, the negativity, with a higher frequency, and do all the things that you know that your body and soul need. And a big part of that is dropping into stillness and being in nature, and taking those moments to balance out what is inevitable at the moment, with a lot going on and a lot to figure out and a lot for our eyes to see and a lot for our brains to think about if we get lost in it. So don't get lost in it too much, Love yourselves, look after yourselves, and know that these are really, really exciting times, but also maybe a lot for our bodies to go through. So when you're feeling that, maybe slightly overwhelmed, know that your body's asking for that stillness and that balancing out, that love's needed elsewhere, that love's needed within. And to take it easy and don't be too hard on yourself. If you do need more sleep, if you do need more rest, maybe some time off in terms of being in nature and switching off completely, right? I don't feel like we as humans give ourselves that enough in this day and age of being immersed in that. Enjoy each day, knowing that we're going through this wonderful time, although at times it can feel like it's quite overwhelming and full of chaos. So more than ever, see that, be aware of that, and drop into stillness and keep dreaming big. Take care.